Well, good evening, members of council, members of management. We have 15 attendees that have logged on by electronic media. Welcome to the Stephenville Town Council meeting this September 28th. It is 7:04 p.m. I'd also like to recognize that we have a member in our lobby, Mr. Mark Lewis, an entrepreneur here in Stephenville. Welcome to our chambers, Mark. Thank you. I'd like to ask a member of council that we move the agenda as adopted. Moved by Councilor Tracy Boland, seconder. Councilor Lenny Tiller, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. I'd also like to recognize that Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow has joined us via Trinity East. Are you that close or?
Yeah, you're right.
Welcome, Susan.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 2. I'd also like to recognize, as we do at our weekly public meetings or our bi-weekly public meetings, our land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge the town of Stephenville as the ancestral homeland of different populations of Indigenous people. We also acknowledge with respect the rich histories and cultures of the Beothuk, the Mi'kmaq, the Innu, the Inuit of the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. I thought before we'd start our meeting, members of council, staff, and guests, and people logged on, that we would hold a moment of silence. It's been a rough week for the town of Stephenville, a rough week for our fire department, but most importantly, a rough week for the Butt family. Chris and Nadine Butt lost their son Connor. He put up a good fight. He was Stephenville's hero. So on that note, I'd like for everybody to bow their heads for a moment of silence. Our deepest condolences go out to the Butt family, the immediate family, and to their friends and family. They had a very large extended family, supported so well by the community. So we'll move on to item number 3. Just approve the agenda. Go to item number 4, the approval of the minutes. So our previous meeting minutes was August 31st. 2003, and they were circulated by our town clerk, Jennifer Brake. I would ask a member of council to move that those minutes be adopted.
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Laurie Elwood, second Councillor Tracy Boland. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Motion carries. Are there any matters arising from those minutes?
The vacancy.
Matters arising? Okay, we'll move it to proclamations and designations. We did have this past week, very proud to say that we are a town of inclusivity. I noticed we had our main crosswalks repainted. They look absolutely marvelous. I thought it was so fitting to have them done for Pride Week. But September 18th to the 24th was the St. George Pride Week. I know for most of it I was gone away, but I understand there was some really good events that took place, a lot of community support, and it's so proud to see. Item number 5 is the committee reports, and I will turn it over to Councilor Lenny Tiller, and he's going to chair the Finance Committee.
Mayor, the Finance Committee met on September 25th, 2023, and the following 20 items were recommended for approval. Item number 1 is recommendation of the Finance Committee that the following be approved as listed under Property and Collections Report. A is property tax write-off in the amount of $174.55 and remission of tax in the amount of $82.51. I so move.
I think we gotta do A first in a motion and then B.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
the second
okay,
one.
sorry about that.
Yeah,
I'm
just-
sorry.
Okay, property tax and write-off in the amount of $174.55. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Tiller, second Councillor Tracy Boland, all in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
motion carried.
1B, remission of tax in the amount of $82.51. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Tiller, second
Second.
Councillor Tristan Yulin, all in favor,
Aye. Aye.
Item number 2, it is the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the accounts payable listing for August 2023 be approved in the amount of $336,526.92. I so move.
moved by Councillor Lenny Tiller, second by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallon, she beat you there, Councillor.
It's okay.
You're pretty fast. Susan was waiting for you.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a motion, we got a seconder, all in favor.
Aye.
Motion
Aye.
carried.
Item number 3, expense check listing, recommendation of Finance Committee. That the expense check listing of an amount of $355,692.84 be approved. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Tiller, second Councillor Laura Elder, all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Item number 4, request for sponsorship, Long Range Small Business Week. It is a recommendation of the Finance Committee to approve the sponsor of Lifetime Achievement Award for Long Range Small Business Week 2023 in the amount of $600. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Tiller, second Councillor Tracy Boland, all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Request for donation, Sir Thomas Roddick Hospital Radiothon is the recommendation of the Finance Committee to give a donation in the amount of $500 to the Sir Thomas Roddick Hospital Radiothon. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Tiller, all in favor. Sorry.
Second.
I'm kind of rushing that one there. Settle down, Rose.
Susan just seconded.
Susan, second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
I
Aye.
got down that one,
I'm not in conflict on that one, so I'm a committee member, of Tennessee. No money for me, no gain of money.
I gotta say, the foundation has done so much work in, town of Stephenville, the amount of money they've raised over the last. 36 years,
Here, over $3 million.
$3 million.
Oh, wow.
About some of the latest innovative equipment for our specialists and our professionals that work at our hospital, GPs, nurses, surgeons, anesthetists, and all the suite of professionals from administration, I'm sure.
Well, our total today was close to 30,000.
Okay.
And that's only in like 4 hours.
Wow.
And then we get 50,000 from government, so.
Yeah, so that's 80,000. But buying new equipment is important for, it's like being a carpenter or mechanic. You gotta have a toolbox and you gotta have the right equipment. And the innovation around equipment now that can assist nurses around lifting patients, moving patients. Because a lot of nurses actually have a lot of back injuries because they do a lot of lifting and so forth. So I've seen some of the equipment that I'm looking at purchasing, and I got to throw accolades to you and your committee for all you do, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work the year round of everything that you guys do. So you're pretty committed. Okay.
All in favor again. We didn't do all in favor.
Oh, we didn't.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much for that. All in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Item number 6, request for funds, Western Health Retention Program, Royal Canadian Legion, as a recommendation of Finance Committee to provide funding in the amount of $15,164.35 to the Royal Canadian Legion for Western Health Retention Program. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Keller, seconder Councillor Tracy Boland. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 7, Western Health Retention Program. It is the request of the Finance Committee for the approval to council the Western Health Retention Strategy Motion number 21-35 and all applicable amendments thereafter effective October 1st, 2023. So moved.
Moved by Councilor Lenny Taylor, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Royal. I'd just like to just speak on that today, you know, when I was thinking about, I think we've been 3 years that we've been offering burglaries, doing signing bonuses, helping with retention. And as a council, we believe that we've had some really good success, and we have with it, and done some really good. But a couple of years ago in the province, it was, I guess the biggest news feed was that we're in healthcare crisis. And I'm not saying that we're out of it, but it seemed to be a little bit better now than it was a couple of years ago. And I think COVID played a role there, and delays and surgeries and acute care and family physicians and so forth. But it seems now the new urgency in the province is affordable housing.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, today I was speaking at a Newfoundland trades conference in Cornbrook, and Mayor Jim Parsons actually spoke also. And each mayor had to give an overview of what was happening in their communities. One of the things that Mayor Parsons says, they're really focused on infilling in the city of Cornbrook. And we've spoke about that many times too, that if you have land within your community that all your water and sewer and everything's running by, it prevents urban sprawl. Because to punch out with new water and sewer, you're talking big money, big capital. And they're really focused on infill. And I think we're in line with them because we've had some good discussions on that. And we're hoping within the next month, Mr. Manager, Colin, that we'll have an update and an overview from our planners to actually look at, I guess, a bird's eye view of our community to identify where should we be moving. Affordable housing, duplexes, condos, single dwellings, estate dwellings, apartment complexes, you name it, the whole gamut, because you got to have a mix. Not everybody fits one. It's not a cookie cutter. It's got to be a balance. So I'm looking forward to that. We did say once we reviewed it as council, we would have a public meeting, invite all of our developers in so that they will have a good understanding of where we're going to be heading with the town. So local businesses and entrepreneurs can seize opportunities. So on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 8, recruitment chief administrative officer, is the recommendation of the finance committee to approve recruit for the position of chief administrative officer for the town of Stephenville. I so moved.
Moved by Councilor Lenny Taylor. Second. Second, Deputy Mayor Susan Bell. Just like to say, Colin's been working for about 2 years now, Colin. And Colin and his family have decided that they're going to move on for their own family reasons. And I just want to say, Colin, it's been a pleasure. You're not gone yet. We got to get your replacement in, and we got a little bit of time but let's hope that we can find a new CAO that will be able to handle the many files of the town of Stephenville. And they are lofty and they are intense at times. And because of what's happening in Stephenville, with the expansion and the growth, it's going to be a busy time for not just council, staff, our unionized members, our business community. It's going to get busy. And there's no doubt we've been getting really busy because of the new code of conduct that has been brought in by the provincial government through municipal affairs. We all received training, all staff received training, so we actually all know how to really complain and do it in a professional manner. But unfortunately, it takes a lot of administrative time that we are spent doing a lot of paperwork instead of being proactive doing active files. And unfortunately, it's costing us, not us, well, yes, us too, because we're taxpayers, but it's costing the taxpayers of this town a lot of money. It's probably going to hit over $100,000 this year. And that's $100,000 that we could have put in. Not saying that we don't live in a society that you can't complain, but it's just so easy to complain. And this code of conduct has made it easy. It's part of freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom to complain. I guess I could clue it up by that. But at the end of the day, that's $100,000 we could have done in road paving, in recreation, in community grants, and raises for our staff. I could go on. There's so many. So on that note, we just got to roll through it.
Mr. Mayor, I don't think the general public knows exactly what code of conduct means, because if it continues the way it's going, the towns are not going to be able to afford to do it with all the money it's costing. So I don't think most people out there don't understand that if you have someone out there that's putting in a complaint, that's going to cost the towns a lot of money.
And it's a legal framework, yeah, and legal investigators, lawyers are involved with every time a complaint happens. And for the most part, the high percentile of these are just kicked out because there was no merit,
Right.
no validation. It was just somebody that might just have sour grapes, which is unfortunate, but that's the life we live right now. But it is tough on council, but it's tougher on the administration
Yes.
because they got to do all the work. And instead of dealing with day-to-day issues in the town, whether that's our cleaning up our town or preparing our roads or helping permits and business permits getting processed in a fast-track manner, guess what? They're in your office dealing with ATIPs and lawyers and paperwork and submissions and deadlines. There's only so many hours in the week. So on that note, I figured I'd say it, but for that item, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 9, recruitment superintendent of engineering and asset management. As a recommendation of the finance committee to recruit for the position of superintendent of engineering and asset management, I so move.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Taylor, seconder.
second,
And
Oh.
Councillor Newland, all in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Item number 10, request approval to negotiate request for proposal 2023-003 263 Carolina Avenue. It's a recommendation of Finance Committee to negotiate proposal as submitted by Nixon Metals for RFP 2023-003 sale of land and building located at 263 Carolina Avenue. I so moved.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Taylor, seconder. Second, I think Susan, you had your hand up first, Deputy Mayor Susan Vallow. I just want to say it's nice to see a young entrepreneur. We have very few manufacturing businesses in Stephenville. I guess you could say Maui is a manufacturer of protein. I would say that. Would that be correct?
Say so.
Makes sense to me. They manufacture protein, they grow salmon. And that's a big operation, but Nixon Metals, they're into metal fabrication. They have an assembly line and they have an interest in a building that's been dear to my heart that had to be remediated, repaired, and some extended use for. It was actually the first hangar built by the United States Air Force in Stephenville. So we could almost call it Hangar 1. And but I look forward to having management negotiate the terms. I think what the council had discussed is we would like to see the project completed in a 2-year time cycle because there's a lot of remediation. It's a 33,000 square foot facility, but it's also planned not just to do metal siding, roofing, roof truss, but also to look at modular home development. And that's dearly needed for this community. But I can see the market for modular home, small footprint for other communities. So they may be manufacturing in Stephenville and shipping to Port Bass, or to Robinsons, or to Trepassey, or to Trinity East. Just saying. On that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Item number 11, Canada Community Building Fund Application, Sludge Bid Extension Wastewater Treatment Facility. There's a recommendation of the Finance Committee to submit a capital investment plan application to the Canada Community Building Fund Secretariat, Department of Municipal and Provincial Affairs in the amount of $59,250 plus HST to reconstruct sludge bed extension for wastewater treatment facility, which will extend the perforated drainage pipe at end of sludge bed system into a rock pit for absorption. I so move.
Mouthful.
I think you got that pretty right. Absorption rock.
That's about, yeah.
Plenty of drainage.
Yes.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Tiller, second.
Second.
Second, Councillor Tracy Moe. I just want to say today too that I do know that these systems are old and require repairs and upgrades, and management has done a really good job on our sewer treatment facility and our upgrades to our water systems, doing maintenance on our wells, drilling new wells in the forecast for 2024 as our town grows. But we're in really, really good shape. Because I listened to Mayor Parsons this morning when he spoke at the trades conference, the Newfoundland Trades NO conference. And they have to actually look at raising funds and the capital to put their sewer treatment facility in place. So from what I get is they're not compliant. We're compliant federally on our effluent because we treat our effluent. But there's so many communities, not just in Newfoundland, but right across this country, that do not have the necessary infrastructure to treat effluent. And as you well know, the feds come down pretty hard on communities, but it's big, massive infrastructure. 20 years ago, I think we put hours in for about 5 million. I remember Minister Railway announced it at Brazili's one night. There was something happening within the town. I think Mayor C. Steins was there at the time. But it was 5 million 20 years ago. The price point on that was probably could be 18 million today.
Yes.
You know. So on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Item number 12, Canada Community Building Fund application for paving. It is a request to the Finance Committee for approval to submit capital investment plan application to the Canada Community Building Fund Secretariat, Department of Municipal and Provincial Affairs, and the amount of $189,420 plus HST to pave Queen Street to White's Avenue. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Tiller, second.
Second.
Second, Councillor. I'd just like to speak on that just for clarity too, for not so much for council, but maybe for our listening audience. It's that when we submit our budget annually to municipal affairs, and let's say it's at $9 million. It's a balanced budget. We run towards the end of the year. Sometimes we may have a surplus. Sometimes we may have a deficit. We never know until the audited financial statements happen in the next previous year. And it usually takes 6 months. So as we close out 2023, we'll have an idea roughly, but until the adjustments are done by the auditors, we won't have the real number until about June of 2024. So for example, last year, we had anticipated a deficit, but actually the deficit when it was adjusted was $300,000 less than we anticipated. So that's where the adjustments on the audited financial statements are in. But when it comes to these funds are a special fund that each municipality has assigned to them through municipal affairs within the province. And these funds are allocated based on a ratio of your population that we get. But when we submit for this, we get 100%. So when we ask for 189,420 plus HST, we get that, we spend that money, we get it from the province. But that gets adjusted on our budget. So if we didn't forecast spending, let's say $500,000 on the community building fund, and we submit and get $500,000, that will move our budget adjustments up from 9,950,000. So just for clarity there, that this is a special fund. Most municipal capital works projects that we do are budgeted where we have to come up with 20%. On $1 million project, we do 200,000. So just for clarity. So on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Item
Motion
13,
carried.
sorry. Item 13, approval to submit application, municipal capital works, investing in Canada infrastructure program. It is a recommendation of the Finance Committee for approval that the town of Stephenville apply for cost shared funding through the municipal capital works. Call for applications with the municipal infrastructure division of the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure in the amount of $1,970,296.23 for the purpose of expanding and improving water supply. The town of Stephenville agrees to provide its share of the cost shared funding in the amount of $353,300.
Correction.
57.
Oh, you're right, sorry. $357,346.63 for the project. Should it be selected for funding and acknowledges that project costs above the approved project total costs will be the sole responsibility of the town of Stephenville. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Tiller, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councillor Tristan Newland, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item 14, fall cleanup period. It is a recommendation of Finance Committee for approval that the town of Stephenville commence fall bulk cleanup from October 3rd to October 13th, 2023, and bulk drop-off will be available for residents at the town of Stephenville Public Works Depot from October 16th to October 27th. ID will be required. I'd so move.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Tiller, seconder.
I'll second.
Second, Councillor Tracy Boland, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried.
Item 15, Community Grant Program, Fall Proposals. A recommendation of Finance Committee for approval to accept applications for the Fall Community Grant Program. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Tiller, seconder.
Aye.
Moved by Councillor.
Oh, second.
Just out of clarity for management and staff,
Oh, my.
once we send this out, we have a list of all of our community groups that we actually send, communicate to them, or just put on our website, and if they see it, they apply, if they don't.
We could put it on the website, but if council wishes, we could also put it in Saltwire. That might be.
Yeah, if we could get it, I think that's a great idea, because the better we communicate it, and then for anybody that's listening, or anybody around the table, because we're all parts of different community groups, spread the word, because sometimes certain community groups are active at certain times of the year. They have their meetings, they may be in a frenzy of meetings in the summer, but they never meet in the winter. And other groups, like the ski club, might be a group that always meets in the winter. So sometimes when you do the communicate on this, we may miss a community group. So I think if we can put it in a Saltwire, that would be a good idea.
And then just to understand that, again, there's certain specific requirements for a community group to be able to submit an application.
Yeah.
So that's important to be able to understand that. That has to be an element.
Parameters of the application. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item 16, permission to tender fire department work truck F2. Is a recommendation of Finance Committee for approval to tender a new SUV to replace the fire department's 2011 Chevy Silverado truck as per the Public Procurement Act. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Tiller, seconder.
Second.
Second by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm going to learn how to say that word without stuttering over it. Item 17, permission to tender supply and delivery of Class A. It is recommendation of Finance Committee for approval to tender for a supply and delivery of 500 tons of Class A as per Public Procurement
Procurement.
Act.
Yeah.
I so move.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Taylor, second Councillor Laurie Over. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. I got to tell a quick little joke. I just noticed the tons. Anyways, there was about 30 years ago, our powerlifting club in Stephenville was up in a big competition up on the Northern Peninsula. I think they're up around Cowhead somewhere. And that's when the metric system had just was changing over. And when they had the big competition up there for the first time, it was all in metric kilos instead of pounds. So they're doing a lift one day, and one of the older fellas bumped Buddy in the shoulder and said, if that wasn't pounds, he wouldn't lift her. Just saying. I thought I'd lighten it up for a bit. I think Don Wheeler tells that one best.
I think you gotta get the Newfoundland joke book myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, sorry with that, Councillor Tiller, I kind of gave you a break from that procurement.
Thank you. I hope this is the last time. Item number 18, permission to tender supply and delivery of winter sand. It is a recommendation of Finance Committee for approval to tender the supply and delivery of 300 tons of winter sand as per the Public Procurement Act. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Taylor, seconder. Second, Councillor Myra White. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
Item number 19, request to purchase Magnum Pro generator. That is the recommendation of Finance Committee for approval to purchase Magnum Pro generator, including a 1-year warranty in the amount of $25,194 plus HST. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Taylor, seconder.
Second.
Second, Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item number 20, I believe this is the last item for finance.
It is.
Request for a grant, Bay St. George Kinsman. His recommendation of Finance Committee for approval to provide a grant to the Bay St. George Kinsman Club in the amount of $4,140. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Taylor, seconder. Second, Councillor Tracy Bowen. I just want to clarify, this is a community group that has leased out or rented out one of the town's bunkers. And because it is a property that's utilized, we have to assess them under the municipal assessment agency. But because they're a community group like other community groups, we actually give them a grant, and that grant actually equals out their property and business tax on that. So it's something that's been something that's a precedent. We've been doing this with all of our community groups. So not that Bay St. George Kinsman couldn't use the money, but since this gold rush, they've been doing really well in our town. And I got to thank them for everything they're doing. They're so involved in the community. They put out tens of thousands of dollars in the community. Their members are at all the community events when I see them. But you can see them. They're so proud of the success that they've had with the Seymour Theater Festival, running Gold Rush. And I just like to say for any of the patrons that are out there, if you're not playing it, get in the game. You can't win if you're not in the game.
In it to win. Is it?
What's that?
You gotta be in it to win it.
You gotta be in it to win it.
Yeah. Something like that, yeah.
I'll add to that, when any time as a council or the taxpayers can provide such a grant to a nonprofit like that $4,140 is going to probably double that investment back into the community rather than sitting in our coffers. So it does seem like a big amount. I know some people will complain, but as someone who comes from nonprofits have the ability to take $1 and turn it into 10. And I don't know how they do it. It's hard work and dedication. So having that money written off and going back in and giving them a grant for that to pay for their bunker is going to tenfold what they're going to do in the community.
Yeah.
Good point. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, Councillor Tristan Yulin's going to do planning for me. I did.
Well, you had a busy day.
I had
You raised tens of thousands of dollars for our.
That's true. Yeah.
been on the go since 7 o'clock this morning.
You know how appreciative those nurses and doctors and staff are But
And we had a real good representation from
Mhm.
the Western Zone
I've seen that.
officials today.
Oh, good.
Their new, Mr. Wiseman, the son of Joe Wiseman. Yeah. Nice gentleman. Okay, Councilor Tristan Yeoman, planning 5.2 is all yours. Take it away.
Okay, so the Planning and Traffic Committee met on September 25th, 2023, and the following items were recommended for approval. Item A, 3 Michigan Drive, ELC Contracting Limited, requesting approval for a permit to connect catch basins on the property located at 3 Michigan Drive. I so move.
By Councilor Tristan Yeoman, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Lenny Tiller. In favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
Item B, 13 Tennessee Drive, Stephenville Diamond International Airport. Requesting approval for a permit to replace existing signage on building and erect pylon sign with new ownership on the property located at 13 Tennessee Drive. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Tristan Yeoman, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Laurie Elbert. I gotta say, it's nice. It's a permit come in, it's revenue for us, and it's a new sign. A lot of years, there was no permits coming in to put up no new signs at that airport, so with a new revenue and a little bit of life, and I'm happy. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Aye.
carried.
Item C, 37 Main Street, Pizza Delight. Requesting approval for a permit to paint the exterior of the building and change signage on building located at 37 Main Street. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Tristan Yeoman, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Myra White, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Aye.
carried.
Item D, 241 to 245 Carolina Avenue, Salt Life Marine and Industrial Supplies. Requesting approval for a permit to relocate existing business from 136 to 138 Main Street to 241 to 245 Carolina Avenue pending approval of Service NL. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Tristan Yeoman, seconder. Second, Councilor Tracy Bowman. Just like to speak on that. This is a company that just recently moved into our town. This is a resident that was from the area, been in Ontario for maybe 20 years. Got the news of what could be happening in the growth of Stephenville. They moved back. They started leasing a place. Got rolling there. They say in business, you gotta crawl, you gotta walk, then you gotta run. That's a rule of thumb. But here they are now. They bought a new property up on Carolina in the industrial sector. Going to modernize, rebuild that facility. So it just goes to show that tertiaries are starting to move in. People are investing even before final investment decision is made by companies like World Energy. Or decisions are being made even before the bricks and mortar or the buildings start being built by the Diamond Group. But that's what it takes. Sometimes it takes risks. It's called risky business. But early in, you will reap more rewards than if you wait too late in the game. So on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item E, 10 to 14 Main Street, Dreamcatcher Lodge. Requesting approval for a permit to remove the deck at front of business and repair potholes on the property located at 10 to 14 Main Street. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Tristan Yeoman, second.
Second.
Second, Councilor Laura Elbert, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item F, 149 to 159 Main Street, JAP Holdings Incorporated. Requesting approval for a permit to consolidate 2 parcels of land, 149 to 151 Main Street and 153 to 159 Main Street, into 1 parcel of land to be named 149 to 159. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Tristan Yeoman, second. Second, Councilor Myra White, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item D, 24 Pioneer Drive. Requesting approval for a permit to construct a 6.096 meter by 9.144 meter garage on the property located at 24 Pioneer Drive. I so move.
Moved by, so who's applying for the permit though? It says 24 Pioneer Drive.
That's my, wait.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I think the addresses normally don't come in as.
Yeah, if only if it's a staff member.
Oh, that's not.
Oh, okay. All right.
Council.
Good to know.
Thanks for
Good
the
to know.
clarification. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carried.
Who was seconded, sorry?
Did we get a second?
No.
Oh.
Back to it.
Let's back up.
Okay,
Motion is null and void.
moved by,
Okay.
Moved by Councilor Tristan Yulin, seconder. Councilor Tracy Boland, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried.
Item H, 99 Carolina Avenue, Appalachia Distributing Limited, requesting approval for a permit to repair asphalt, repair partial area of roof, and minor landscaping to remove stairs leading onto Massachusetts Drive on the property located at 99 Carolina Avenue. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Tristan Yulin, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Lenny Keller. I just want to speak on that one for a second. We had some discussion the other day that cemetery there is like it's never used now.
Hmm.
But I was driving by the other day, I was saying, okay, I know why those stairs were there. They were there, the air base, when that was the NCO club. And the Hilton barracks, they used to call it the, what was the nickname, the Hilton Manor or the, but that's, so everybody would come out of the barracks and they'd cross the road and go down the steps to go to the NCO club. That was American service personnel. That's why it was used, but it's not a club anymore.
No.
So stairs are not used anymore, so I could see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item I, 66 New Mexico Drive, Bearshwa Breeze, requesting approval for a permit to operate a home-based soap-making business on the property located at 66 New Mexico Drive, pending approval of Service NL. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Tristan Yulin, seconder.
Second.
Second by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item
Carried.
J, 98 Colonial Avenue, Tiny Treasures Day Home. Request approval for a permit to operate a daycare out of the residence located at 98 Colonial Avenue, pending approval of Service NL. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Tristan Yulin, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Myra White. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item K, 233 Carolina Avenue, Precision Enterprises. Request approval for a permit to do interior and exterior renovation to the existing building located at 233 Carolina Avenue, pending approval of Service NL. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Tristan Yulin, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Tracy Boland. Nice to see that you got your orange shirt on today in recognition of reconciliation and the importance of it. So it is a long weekend this weekend for our staff, and it's a federal government holiday. Nice to see. I will tell you that in Canada and North America, compared to a lot of places in the world, we don't have a lot of holidays. In Europe, they start off with 6 weeks holidays a year when you start a job. And Canadians, believe it or not, we're workaholics. We work a lot, we volunteer a lot. We actually work, push more than the Japanese culture. They actually have more downtime, more family time, more relaxing time. Sometimes we sometimes push too much, like you, Councilor over today. You never stop. You're only 60.
That's true.
You need to slow down when you're 60.
That's true.
So I'm saying that.
I gotta keep going.
What's that?
My doctors tell me I gotta keep going.
You have to. You can't stop.
That's right.
You know, it just it's nice to know cultures, but when I see a new holiday coming for our staff, I applaud it because it's good for your mental health. It's good for your family, and we don't have a lot of time off. I'm sure for young business people, it takes interest.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. You guys are shaking your head, looking at me.
Yeah, that's true.
We kind of Canadians.
For those Canadians, yeah,
We kind of know.
we're the bad examples.
Yeah, Yeah, so anyways, where was I? Did I complete, I lost my
No, you
We got
rounds there.
a second there.
always got to call for.
Just call for the vote.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
You were on K, right?
We were on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No worries. Next item, 1 Main Street, Golden Gifts Plus. Request approval for a permit to relocate existing retail business from 75 West Street to front of the building located on 1 Main Street pending approval of Service NL. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Tristan Newland, seconded.
Second.
Second by Myra. I just want to say before I call for the vote again, I just speak on this. I think we should write the minister my recommendations, minister responsible for Government Service Center, and ask them to set up an office in Stephenville for a bunch of reasons. The number one reason is we got a $12 billion investment coming to this town. And for all these businesses, local businesses moving in, they have to go through Government Service Center for a lot of their approvals, their electrical, their, maybe you could overview a couple of things. Tristan,
Yeah, so for any new business, especially a business that's establishing a property, there are a list of guidelines that pertain to egress, accessibility, even aesthetics that you have to adhere to. And Service NL, of course, is as you can tell from everything in our agenda here tonight, Service NL is typically the governing body of all that. So electrical permits, egress, life safety, accessibility. There's a department with Service NL that basically governs all that. No different than rental properties or anything of that nature that would involve public safety. So yeah, I see your point. Definitely.
So I think it's very important, and maybe we had a meeting the other day with the Premier talking about the growth of Stephenville and how Stephenville needs some additional attention.
Mhm.
And I never thought about bringing that up at that meeting, but that wouldn't be the Premier that would handle that. It would be a specific minister's portfolio. So my recommendation as a consensus, if everybody's fine with it,
Yes.
I don't think we really need to put a motion on the table to write a letter. But I think from a consensus perspective, let's ask management to identify the minister responsible. Colin is going to get on that. And because of the need of growth and permit access and to reduce the red tape, that we would ask the provincial government to set up an office with Service NL in Stephenville.
It can only help because Service NL does usually suffer some backlog just due to the overwhelming demand of requests. So to no fault of their own, but an expansion, I would imagine, would help alleviate some of that pressure.
And one of the challenges that I've heard too is with Service NL and stuff like that. No different probably out in town office. We're just another level of bureaucracy in government too.
Yeah.
But in the summertime, now remember, we don't have a whole lot of summer. We got from May till the end of October. Then it's winter time. But that's the time when everybody takes their holidays, July and August.
Yeah.
And sometimes our staff are limited and people are on holidays. And I'm sure Service NL is the same thing. They might have a staff of 4 and there's 2 gone on holidays. So you see how things slow down. So let's see if we can put the request to the minister. Once you write the minister, they have to respond to you and see if we get a response. And if we get a favorable response, great. If we don't, we'll ask for a Zoom meeting or a meeting.
Yep.
So everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item M, 52 Main Street, over the top. Request approval for a permit to operate a bar and grill from the property located at 52 Main Street and replace business signage on exterior of building pending Service NL approval. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Tristan Newland. Second. Second, Councilor Lenny Taylor. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion
And
carried.
our final item, item N, Christmas Adventure Event, Main Street. Request approval for the town of Stephenville to host Main Street Christmas Adventure event on December 21st, 2023. Main Street will be closed to vehicular traffic from Kin Square to Grove Street. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Tristan Yulin, seconder.
Second.
Second by Councillor Myra White. I'd just like to commend Councillor Tracy Boland for helping with this initiative. This is something we've started. I think the date is perfect. December 21 is the start of winter. And most years we've had pretty good. There was one year, sweet God, it was cold.
Yeah.
But it is winter. It's December 21. And I think this time too, it's been challenging having some businesses getting involved. Not everybody's got the Christmas of spirit. Some people are Grinches. That's just the way it is. But I love Christmas. By the way, how many days till Christmas? Anybody know? Okay, we don't have time to check that.
I'm not sure, but I've seen some calendars counting down to it. It's on a lot of radars.
Tell you what, the retail companies, they like to push it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure, like
Hey, yeah.
Arlen's said that that's gonna be Arlen's next big push. Hey, did you know it's only so many days to Christmas? Get out, get your.
Probably down now.
Yeah. Okay, don't want to be pushing council's business at the table.
No.
Anyways, but it's nice to see, and I gotta say that people, that's like our town square and our Christmas adventure on Main Street. You know what? There's times I bet you that's the only time some people get in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And to see the happiness on people's faces when this happens, like people like, and then people see each other that they've never seen in the whole year. And I've witnessed the success of this.
And people are already asking,
Yeah.
when is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this time too, like, there was money put into the BIA last year from World Energy that wasn't expensed. We'll ensure that that money gets expensed because, you know, we need some bling and we need some, pomp and ceremony and as much Christmas as we can put on that little section of Main Street, let's do it.
Yeah.
I will go on record to say, I don't think there's been another community in this province that has done what we've done on Main Street.
No.
It's been a successful tradition for sure.
Yeah. So, on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
No
Aye.
bridges at the table. That's a good thing.
No.
I think that's the last day of school too.
What's that?
I think that's the last day of
I think
school
it
for
is.
Christmas too.
So do we have anything late, Mr. Manager? Nothing late? Okay, bylaws and regulations, nothing? So I just want to say our next meeting is going to be with Mike Ratter. Will that be when Susan gets back? We'll wait for Susan to get back and go over policies or something.
We'll do that before, but we'll have to do it at maybe next week or whenever we can.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we get to approve the whole wrap,
Okay.
the whole.
And when Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow gets back, we'll coordinate with management and we'll have a meeting on that. Any unfinished business? Any new business?
I should have rolled a report, so I'm gonna forget half of this now. I attended M&L regional meetings in Deer Lake, September 8th and 9th. And it's a good weekend. There was Western and Northern, so there was people. I don't think anyone from Labrador showed up. Most of the West Coast communities were there and up the Northern Peninsula. Talked about housing a lot, talked about waste management collection a lot. Town of Stephenville was given accolades for three things in particular. The first was our wastewater treatment facility. And when we were in the room, they thought we were the only one in the West Coast and Northern Peninsula, is only one in compliant with the new regulations. And we were the envy of everybody because everyone now has to come up with millions and millions of dollars to get a new program, and we're already ahead of the game. The next one was our tiny homes development. And a lot of communities, for some reason, have said no to tiny homes because the provincial government didn't do a good enough job of explaining the process of how to go through amending their zoning to allow it to happen. So they could have had some and all said no because they didn't realize how simple it was. And M&L was actually going to reach out to the town to see what we did in the process we went through to make that happen.
I believe he actually has a meeting with the department, with the government of Ontario now, discussing how to implement that zoning
Good.
for a lot of their housing problems.
Good.
So, yeah, good to see that they're finally moving on that.
Yes, in the last one, I'm not sure if we do it anymore, but apparently the town used to have a renters list. And this was something that Memorial University had put out a call to municipalities a number of years ago for people going into placement in the hospital, doctors and nurses, to see if they had housing or people that they could get a hold of. And the town of Stephenville at the time was the only community that reached out to MUN and gave them a list of every renter they had in their community. So we were given accolades for that. And apparently they've moved away from that now. I'm not sure if we still do it, but we were the only community in the room that actually complied with Memorial's request.
Still have the list, but it's not updated.
Okay.
Yeah, we still have that.
I just reviewed the list just recently. I was really surprised how many companies have availability of apartments and rentals. When we had the initial assessment done by Uplands, per ratio, Stephenville is far above average of having apartments, semi-detached, duplexes, fourplexes, eightplexes, compared to single detached homes than the average. And the reason is because of the air base and all the apartments.
Yeah.
You know, so, but yet we're still in a housing crisis. And when, like we're doing a transition house, we partnered with God. So we're looking at affordable housing and everybody's talking about it, but until money hits the table and everybody's saying, well, who's responsible? Is it the profits? Well, Newfoundland Member Housing is, that's, they got a whole department, they got a minister, they got a budget. And then they're starting to say, do municipalities get involved? And for me, I prefer the private sector. I think it makes more sense for private sector to be supported by all levels of government so that they can ensure that. And what is affordable anyways? When you talk today, the bill of home is costing you $200 to $250 a square foot to build a home. Somebody's on a fixed income, living by themselves. What is really affordable? You know? So I think that's something that's got to be wrestled by the federal government to the provincial government. But it's really tough for us as a municipality to make a move.
Yeah.
When it's not coming down the chain, right? The best we can do at this point is time to support our local businesses and entrepreneurs and push the federal and the province to help solve our housing crisis. Because at the end of the day, for us as a council, and remember, we are elected to lead the town, move the town forward. At the end of the day, remember, we can't leave anybody behind. Somebody's on the streets because they have addictions or whatever. Somebody's got to take care of them. If we got seniors that's living in a place that's rat infested, it's too expensive to heat because there's no insulation in the walls. That's not appropriate.
Sadly, it's happening.
But sadly, it happens. So it is a big problem, and you're not going to fix it overnight.
Definitely.
But good policy and good federal and provincial programs may allow us to play a role. So I thought that was important. But good points. It's nice to hear that. Lenny attended the regional. I'll be heading into St. John's for the M&L conference, October 26th or something like that, Jennifer. So actually, I've been asked to meet with the other three mayors of the other three towns where wind and hydrogen is being developed. So we come together and talk common strategies, learn from each other, you know, stuff like that. Okay, anything else?
Yeah, I believe Blanche Brook Park tomorrow at 1:30. They're gonna have a ceremony for the Truth and Reconciliation.
Is she from Cape Breton?
Not sure.
I remember hearing her. She does a great job.
Who is it?
Here's what's interesting about reconciliation. From the history books, accurate history books. Do you know that in some of the residential schools in Canada, they have electric chairs?
Really?
That's what's happened.
I didn't know.
That's how bad the atrocities were. That when somebody, was hurting because they missed their family, wanted to get out of there because they were beat. And they weren't allowed to have friends. They were caught having a friend. They were separated. But sometimes they were put in an electric chair and given shock treatments. That's how bad it was. So,
Yeah.
Days like what's happening are very, very important. And, and it's about moving forward. Okay. Anything else? Okay, I would ask a member of council to move that we adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Lenny Tiller. And by the way, thanks, Councilor Tiller and Councilor Tristan for assisting our chairs in planning and traffic.
No
Yeah,
worries.
long weeks and long days.
No worries.
So it's nice when the young guns can step in,
Yes,
Pleasure.
yes.
Not that the 50 and 60-year-olds can handle it, but it's easier with the 30-year-olds, right?
I think 40.
Okay, so go ahead. Question.
Second.
Do we need a second? Councilor Tracy Boland, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion's adjourned. Thank you very much, and thanks for logging in. There's 24 of you out there.
And Deputy Mayor Fallow.